Hey guys, Andrew Esquivel here, back with another review, and today I'm gonna be reviewing the T-fal Ultimate Easy Clean Deep Fryer. Now the specific model number to this will be in the title of the video. Now, I love this deep fryer because it has a feature that many other deep fryers do not, and that is an oil filtration system. Right now I have some food cooking, as you can see through the glass. I got some chicken in there, some breaded chicken. And it's almost done. It'll be in another 2.5 minutes. But during that time, let's talk about the unit real quick. So, we just said that it can help clean the oil by filtering it. Down here, we have the container that holds the oil. Right here we have a few selector switches. Right now we're on fry because we are deep frying some chicken. Over here we have the automatic oil filtration and oil box. So when you're done deep frying and you've got your food out of the deep fryer, you flip the switch over to automatic oil filtration. And it doesn't just immediately start filtering the oil into the box. That would not be good because this is plastic and this oil is at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. What it has is a special little system inside here that is temperature sensitive. When it's hot, it plugs up the hole in which the filtration system is connected to, and after the oil has cooled down, it opens the valve so that the oil can drain into the pan. Now, some people have reported that the pan system here does leak, and I will say this, if you get the small version of this deep fryer, yes, I have had the small version before I upgraded to the big version here, I got a ton of leakage. Oil everywhere, did not like it. But, that is an older model, and in this model, the bigger model, I haven't had any of those problems. In fact, everything has worked completely flawlessly. This system comes apart very easily. We'll be going over that in a wee bit, but right now, we got about 50 seconds left on the frying of the chicken. So, let's talk about how we heat things up. This has metal probes that go directly in the oil underneath the basket to heat the oil directly. I like that. I've had deep fryers that heat up a metal bowl that the oil is sitting in, and that's not as efficient. We got a range here, and when the pan, or when the oil in the bucket, I guess you might say here, is heating up, you'll see the red icon is on. Once it's reached the desired temperature, it'll shut off. Makes it very easy to tell when things are ready to get going. We have a full on-off switch here, as well as a quick release plug, should you ever need to use it. And as you can hear from that beeping noise, that means the chicken should be done. Alright, so this is all live and kind of just as I'm going along here. The only thing I don't like about this system is the top right here, because it doesn't flip to one side and stay in place. You need to have a spot pre-designated to wherever you want to put this, so that way you don't burn whatever you're putting it on top of or burn your hand. So, for right now, I've been doing a lot of cooking, so things are a wee bit messy at the moment. However, we got 3 pieces of chicken. Now this can hold a lot more than 3 pieces of chicken, okay? Just kind of right there, and that is a nice golden brown, I would say. I like my breaded chicken crunchy, so I put it in a little longer than what the directions on these things normally say to do. Now, I'm going to need to put this chicken on a plate so that we can continue talking about this really quick. So, uno momento, por favor. Alright, with the basket out, we can see how large of an area we've got to work with, and as you can see, these metal clamps hold the handle in place, and this can actually fold up to be stored once the oil is drained. Now right there you can see the heating elements inside the oil, as well as the temperature sensing gauges that allow you to set the desired temperature of the oil. You will notice that circular part in the pan here, and that is the oil filtration drain. So let's go ahead, put this here, zoom out for a moment, and let's put the top back on to this so we don't get any splatter. Now when you start this thing up and you drop whatever it is in there, you're going to get splash. So it's really important to use both hands, so that way you can hold this up before it hits the oil, put the lid on top, then drop it down, and you got no worries about splashing. Now as water evaporates from the frozen whatever you're cooking, the steam will come out of the top and you'll be cooking. So all that really remains to be seen at the moment is the oil filtration system. Now, I'm going to twist this into the off position, flip the switch to turn it off, and set this to automatic oil filtration. Now, it's going to take a few hours for the oil to cool down naturally. Once it gets to a safe temperature, the mechanical device inside there for the valve drainage filtration thing will open up, and then we will see the oil in the bucket, and once we are at that point, we'll take it from there. Okay, so the oil has now fully drained into the storage bin. We can now flip the switch over to oil box and remove. Now, this is a decent bit of oil. Be careful here, and just move it to the side. You see, this is where everything gets stored, and I'm feeling under here, and I don't feel any spills or any sort of liquidy substances, so looks like the drainage system works very well on this particular model. Like I was saying, the smaller model had leaking problems. But now that this is out of the way, I can take this off, and since everything's cooled down, I can kind of disassemble a little bit of it here and show you what we're dealing with. So, this comes apart in a few different sections, but first, let's disconnect the power plug. Now, the first thing that gets removed is the heating element. Just literally pulls right off the top here. We can put this down the side for a moment, because, as you can see, we've got some leftovers here in the pan that luckily is not in the oil. And the best part about this thing, this pan just literally pops up. And you can just clean it at your leisure, because right under here would be where the plastic storage would be. Although we have it right there for the moment, this is what the oil goes in when you're cooking. So clean it as you please. Just place it back. Put your heating element back on. And you're good to go after you've cleaned the stainless steel tub. It's really a fantastically modular system, and it all works just so well together. So when storing it, like I was saying before, this handle can be moved like that so that you can place the top right here, and that way you don't have a handle dangling around. And we can put the oil back. Now, when you want to put the oil into the system here, and I wish I could show you, but I really need two hands to do it. There's a little screw, plastic seal right here, that has a hole, and that hole is connected to the rest of the bin. And what you do is, once you have the lid off here and the hole unscrewed, you just tilt and it pours out nice and smooth right back into the metal pan where everything gets cooked. But until then, it is able to just sit in the plastic bin, and we're going to just set it back to fry, because if you set it over to fry, you can't pull it out any further than this. Physically stops you, which I think is good, because that could prevent a potentially disastrous accident, especially if you have children that are young and don't understand what they're playing with. The last thing you want is to have a ton of oil all over the floor. But it all locks in place. There's even a little window right here to see the oil levels. But all in all, I think this system is incredible. This is the first home consumer system that I have personally seen on the market to successfully do an oil filtration system that works. And, you know, I don't see any problems with this thing. It cooks everything really well. The temperatures, as far as I can tell, are pretty accurate. Now, yes, it is true that I did not measure the temperature with a special oil thermometer. But I got to imagine, because everything is coming out exactly as I imagine it should, according to the directions on the instructions, according to the instructions on the food that I'm cooking, that everything is functional. So, with all that being said, I love this deep fryer. I don't fry all the time. I do try and bake as much as possible, but certain things like French fries and breaded chicken strips, you just gotta deep fry it. And sometimes when I make some homemade creations, there's a lot of breading, and I tell you, it gets all up in the oil and can make a mess, and cleaning is a pain. At least it was with my old deep fryer, which I replaced with this because of the oil filtration system. So I'm happy to report that for about $100, you can get this system. It heats up well, doesn't take too long to heat up, about average for, you know, comparatively speaking to any other deep fryer, but it filters well, it stores the oil well, it does not leak in my case with this model. Like I keep saying, the smaller model had leaking problems, the bigger model here does not appear to have that issue. And, yeah, everything comes out tasting really good. So, hope that helps if you were in the market for this thing, because I definitely recommend it. So, anywho, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, consider subscribing, as I do periodically do reviews on random things here and there. Nothing in particular. I don't subscribe to one particular category of product, and when I get a chance to review things, I just kind of do it at my own leisure, but I try to take the time to review it as best as I can. So if you're interested in random reviews here and there, tidbits about this and that, consider subscribing. I also do a few other random things on the channel, and if you look at my channel and it's something that interests you, might want to consider hitting the little bell icon next to the subscribe button to let you know whenever I upload a new video. But you don't have to do that if you don't want to. At the end of the day, I'm just hoping this video helped you. So, that being said, have a great day, night, whatever it is, whenever you cook dinner. And yeah,